This episode of Power Women of the Trades is also brought to you by Forrest Perry of Forrest Perry Digital Marketing. Want to generate more leads for your service business? Trust his team to deliver quality new customer leads and protect your brand online. Check out perrymarketing.com today.
Hello everyone. We want to give a quick shout out to our amazing partner, Rilla, the game changer in the home service industry. Rilla's virtual ride-along software means no more physical ride-alongs. With Rilla, you can coach your team virtually 100 times faster and boost your close sale rates like never before. Don't miss out. Join the movement today and watch your sales soar. Visit rilla.com/PWT to learn more.
Most businesses' online presence is boring. And by being boring, they're losing out on potential sales and customers. Being interesting and exciting is what draws customers in and gets them to buy from you. But it's hard to be interesting online when you're focused on running your business and taking care of your customers. It doesn't have to be this way. We have the key to unlocking the solution to your problem. Key Heart Marketing can help take your business from boring to brilliant on social media. We can vouch for them. They run our podcast socials. If you want to have a strong social media presence that allows customers to know, like, and trust you, connect with Key Heart Marketing at keyheartmarketing.com. Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. This show is all about breaking barriers and changing the game. Our guests will feature some of today's most successful female entrepreneurs and other advocates of our industry as well. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, female-led entrepreneurship drives change on multiple levels. We want to empower women in the trade industry like you so you can maximize your potential, stay balanced, achieve long-term success, and claim ownership over your life. Let's get started.
I think about, okay, so I'm going to bring our friend Tay into this conversation, but I think about, in case you're wondering, our friend Taylor Swift, she has as a marketer, I'm obsessed with it. What she does is like marketing ecosystem is insane. It's incredible. I believe that some of it comes really naturally to her in this, like, I think that at the beginning, it was almost probably a happy accident that she figured out that she could keep kind of playing on this, and it's a business, right? But not everybody likes her. And for as much as she's accomplished, as much as she does, as much as she's able to, as a creative person, as a businesswoman, like as all of these things, there are still people who have a negative opinion about what she's been able to do, you know?
Right.
So it's like, no matter what, like you're never going to be able, as much as you can do, you will never be able to please everyone. So you can't focus on that. Like you have to focus on what's important to you, how you want to be seen and represented. And if you make a mistake, own your mistake and move on. Like there's nothing else. Like truly, like it might hurt for a few days. It might hurt for a week, but like everyone will move on. There's enough things going on every single day. Own your mistake. I've seen, it makes me think a lot about like Google reviews, you know, and like, obviously every once in a while, someone's going to post a review that may or may not be true, but it doesn't feel good. And sometimes negative feedback doesn't feel good. Like sometimes we get it publicly, sometimes we get it behind the closed doors, but it's like, how you react to that, how you respond to it, what you take from it to move forward is what really matters, because nobody's perfect. Every company could say or do something that ends up being a problem, but it's really like, do you let it kill you, or do you let it just shape your next decisions and how you move forward?
Yeah. And going back to Taylor, right? She is a mastermind. She is. So specifically, like her new album, Life of a Showgirl, I at first didn't think I liked it. I posted about it. Okay.
I saw that, but I was like, she's going to come around. It's fine.
Then I was on I listened to it 3 times and then went to the movie, and now I'm sold. Like Haley and I have listened to nothing else this week.
Yeah.
We know every word. Okay. and then I saw this like video of Taylor saying, you know, my work is my art, and art, you know, everyone's going to have an opinion, and you know, yes, I'm hearing the things of people that don't like it, but like literally that's what the album's about, is the life of a showgirl, right? Like literally saying like, this is it. And now from this, it released, we're recording this on October 10th. I don't know when it'll air, but so the album's been out 7
week.
days. Yeah. 7 days. And I've evolved this much in 7 days. And today I can tell you, I think that whole damn album was wrote for me.
I know. I love it.
Right? I can find like every single song.
I love it. And now I'm getting all the podcast of Travis and Jason's podcast about it, which I love. I love watching those.
Yeah, but that's just even more proof of things settling with time. Also, you know, I probably was fed a lot more stuff on my socials that pushed me to think more. So how do you
I think about that all the time. Like that, I'm like, how much are people's opinions really swaying like what I'm thinking about this certain thing, especially with Taylor's album, because there's all, you know, people are showing how many of her songs are sampled from other songs. And I'm like, is that a problem? But I'm like, then I see like, well, that one was sampled from this one, and this one was sampled from this one. So it's been sampled like multiple times, and that's just how music is. So yeah, we get a lot of other people's opinions in our way of what we're actually thinking about something.
But that's what we do for a living.
Yeah.
We're putting our opinions
right out. That is my job.
That is our job. So it's funny. So, you know, you have to just be able to, you know, be an adult and see, and like Kaylee said earlier, if you don't know why you're on Reels or TikTok, change your algorithm.
Right. It's self-reflection.
Yes. How do you change an algorithm?
Okay. I mean, okay, let's talk about that, because that's a really good point. If you're listening to this and you're somebody who's like, I hate social media because it's so negative and I just like get bombarded by all these horrible stories and it's so bad. That is a you problem. That is not a social media problem. And the problem is that you engage with that sort of content, and whether you do it like in a positive way or a negative way. And I'm guessing if your algorithm is negative, you're doing it in a negative way. But if you're watching these things, if you're commenting on them, if you're reading the comments, if you're sharing it, like, social media knows when you look at something because of the way that you're scrolling. And so that's why when I talked earlier about engagement and reach not always being likes and comments, it's also watches or clicks. Like people who are watching more than 3 seconds of a video or who have clicked on a picture to enlarge it, I'm so cautious about what I click on, especially like clickbait news. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't even, this is not for me. Keep scrolling, because once you click on one of them, you will immediately get fed like 5 to 10 times more of whatever that is or topics like it. And then it just like snowballs into everything that you're seeing. TikTok probably has the most sensitive algorithm. If you watch a video, TikTok will send you more videos that you watch, that you've like spent time watching. So I had a friend one time tell me that she kept seeing these videos of people getting in really terrible accidents, which like I didn't even know that was a thing, because that's not on my TikTok. Like, we're not doing that. And she's like, and I just keep seeing more of them. And I was like, stop watching them. And she's like, I never know what's going to happen. I'm like, yes, you do. Like the second that you even think that this is a video that might be that, you just need to scroll past it. And it'll get away really fast. Like I've multiple times will shape my algorithm. If I'm like, everything in this algorithm sucks right now, I'm just like really cautious about swiping through all of it. But it's the same with Facebook. It's the same with Instagram. Not only is it ads, like, and I hope everybody that's watching or listening to this knows this, but like, if you click on an ad, you will see that same ad plus all of its friends for like the next 30 days, depending on how the marketer has set it up. So be cautious of what ad you click on. If you're interested or slightly interested in those shoes, just like go search them someplace else, which marketers will hate me for saying that. But if you search it someplace else, at least that'll help a little bit. On the other hand, like the pixel will track you, and a lot of people retarget people who go to their website. So there is some I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
The shoes thing is serious. I'm taking my shoe off. These silver Adidas shoes, have you seen them on TikTok?
No.
Okay, listen, crazy. TikTok knows me, right? My son, he can confirm. These shoes kept coming up on my TikTok, and I was like, oh, I really think I want these shoes.
No, because you clicked on them one time. I bet you clicked on them. Yeah.
I did. And then all of a sudden, I had 20, and I'm not joking, 20 videos in a row.
Yeah.
That were these shoes. Well, of course I bought them, and I got a pair for Haley too. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I know.
I love them. And they go perfect. They go with everything. And our school colors locally have some gray in it. It's perfect. And it's silver sparkle. Perfect. Right. But it literally, I couldn't get away from it. I had to buy them. I was sold.
So that brings up a good point. TikTok shop is legit. People ask me all the time. I buy stuff off of TikTok shop all the time, but I did tell my husband it wasn't because he has more of a shopping addiction than me. So I was like, no, TikTok shop is not a thing.
With TikTok shop though, because these shoes were marked for $150 on TikTok shop, but they're Sambas. Sambas are cheap, guys. They're $100 from Adidas.
So I buy Tarte mascara, and it's because they always have 2 for $1 on TikTok shop. And if I go to like Sephora, it's only 1 for $1. So
yeah. So you just got to pay attention to what's like on the TikTok shop. That sounds like an elder saying that, right?
I want to go back to what Jim was talking about, how like the algorithm catches you and things. So like maybe
Haley's done with TikTok shop.
I just had a thought. So I'm like, how do you become the business that's posting on social media that people want to click and zoom in on what you're posting, rewatching it keeping showing up in your algorithm? Like, has me asking myself, like, is what we're posting on social media something that people are going to want to keep watching?
Yeah.
And then, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's such a good point. So, we follow the 3S strategy or 3S framework. So 50% of your content that you're posting should be to show up on the newsfeed. And so that is not education and that is not salesy. And it could have some of that in that if it works, but it's like just to get people to watch you. And so that's where if you were doing reviews of local businesses and you had someone on your team who was doing them, or you were doing them, or you were bringing your dogs and you were just reviewing all of the dog businesses in your community and bringing big ins to them, like that kind of content could get people to watch it. You could tie it back to your brand. It would have not anything to do with what y'all do, but it could still be, I mean, the dog thing, like you could do a whole series because right now you could do like Halloween dog places that you could go get pumpkin pictures with your dogs, or you could do Christmas stuff. Like you could bring it in. You could do anything that's showing like team culture stuff. And then like that's where TikTok trends can be really good because that helps you get into the algorithm without like that's probably the easiest way to create content that gets into the algorithm. So that show up content is to show up. It is about culture. It's about people. It's about storytelling. It's not about anything that you do. And that's how you get people to keep watching.
Which is also not for just like customers finding your brand and using you, but also for recruiting side too. People see that that's a great 100%. Place to work. And they're like, "Ooh, I want to work there."
But for sure, you have to be careful too of the things that you make your business be a part of. Like, and I'm saying that with like, obviously, as the owner or an employee or the marketer, just because you personally love one thing doesn't mean that's the only thing that you should market. So sometimes I'll see, things that are kind of like pigeonholed to the owner, and you're not really talking to the rest of your community. I can give an example of, we don't really do this, but I talk a lot about Kaylee being a college golfer. So a lot of people, we get invited to every golf tournament that America has.
Yeah.
Right. And we go to a lot of them. That's great. But if we only marketed golf with quality and biggins, it would be odd. Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that. But Kaylee, thankfully, she's not going to do that. Right. But I see owners do that a lot, or they're really into cars and they try to make that be their whole identity of their socials. And it doesn't always, it's good for some of the pieces, but you've got to be able to talk to the rest of your community.
You can, so there's like, okay, if you're building your personal brand, that's really important to have like these stories that you tell that make you who you are, and you can attract other people based on like the things that you tell. So I'll give an example. I've done CrossFit for 7 years. I post about it sometimes. I post about my food journey sometimes, or nutrition journey. Um, but I started posting about my journey of trying to get a pull up, and I did it. I posted 2 videos about it, only 2, and all the content. And I post videos every single day, and I post at least 5 times on Facebook, just on my personal brand, not including like what Keyheart posts or the Key to Growth podcast. I went to Pantheon, and I probably had like 5 to 10 people ask me about my pull up journey. And I'm like, oh my God, I have literally posted that twice. And that is like what everyone is stuck on. And so when you share different parts of yourself that are really unique, it gives people a talking point and something to remember you about. This is something that like Marie Forleo has taught, Gary Vee has taught. It's like if you ever talk to Eric, why can't I think of his last name, from Rival, like his Red Robin thing is a big he does that on purpose. It's really strategic because it's something that people connect him with, that he's like at this last conference that I went to, the sequins, like I wear sequins at every conference. And so now people like have coined it as my thing. And when other people wear sequins, they assume that they work with me or that they're like a part of my team. And I'm like, look at that. Like it's so when you can connect yourself to something, that's really powerful because it gives people like, so Kaylee could build her personal brand and talk about golf often, and it would connect a lot of people to her that find that interesting or did it themselves or like have something to talk about. So there's a lot of value in that. But you don't want that to be your only thing. Like if I only talked about CrossFit and never talked about social media or talked about the industry, that wouldn't do me any good at all as a business owner. So it's kind of like combining those things that makes it really powerful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to stand out, but you also want to be relatable too.
Correct. Like you stand out by like you stand out by doing what everyone else is doing, but like in your own way, authentically.
Yeah.
Yep. Are there any social trends you think the trade should ignore?
AI everything. I mean, and you know, it's funny. I went to an AI conference like last week, and everybody was talking about how to be human. You know, like it's like, yes, like we recognize and AI and automation is in way more than we even think about, you know, and it's coming into way more. It makes things so easy. But like I said earlier, it puts like the barrier to entry so low that you have to think about what that means. Like if everyone can do it, then you have to do something else. And so I think, yes, AI is impactful, but like in order to stand out, you have to share who you are and who you are in the community and who you are in your team. So being really weary of like how much AI is in everything. And then any new platforms that come, like that's always a big thing of people are like, should we jump on it? Like, no, not yet. Like, wait to see, you know, like if it's something that actually is going to be worth your time.
Remember that one platform that came out that everyone was wanting an invite to, and it was like everyone you got
Clubhouse.
Club. They were just talking, and I was like, "What are we?"
Clubhouse.
Yes,
I loved Clubhouse, and then until I didn't. It was so fun until it wasn't.
But then it just went away.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that's a good lesson of like, don't put too much effort. We are all just guilty of hearing something new and being like, okay, let's do it. You know, we kind of got to let it play its time.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the tester.
Test things like for yourself personally. Don't like put all your eggs in that basket. You got to like you gotta feel it out.
Could you imagine if I was like, we're going to pull all of our PPC dollars back and we're going all in on Clubhouse?
I know.
You know, people do.
I know.
People do that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, calm down.
Right.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Jen, what's your advice for someone that's trying to stand out in a crowded local market?
So you have to, I think you guys do a good job of this. Like, it's not just one thing. You have to kind of like spread yourself out so that you're showing up consistently and you are visible. And it's about that like trust and building relationships with people. And I had a call with somebody today, and he's creating a product that's similar to me when I hear about it. And of course, to him, it's not, but it's similar to like Angie's or Thumbtack or something. And I'm like, you won't be able to do this with just ads. Like, you have to. And it's the same with anybody. Like, you guys are in a market with so many other plumbing, heating, electrical companies. Like, what is going to make somebody want to work with you versus everyone else? So yes, like you can play the Google game and try to be at the top, and that costs a lot of money. And we know that. And like a lot of times when private equity comes in, they have endless marketing budgets to get to the top of Google. So what else can you do? That's where you have to get involved. And it feels so slow at first, like when you're just like, if you're just starting, but it feels slow to just one-on-one get to know people and show up in community events and sponsor things. And like, you guys do things for the teachers, and you go to the home shows, and you guys you've done billboards, you have radio. Like, there's so many things that you guys are doing. And if you were just doing one of those things, it wouldn't make as much of an impact as doing all of the things consistently. So I think that recognizing that there isn't going to be a silver bullet of just like this one thing that you need to do and that's going to change your life, but you need to figure out when you're building your marketing plan how you can build partnerships with people, how you can get involved in your community, how you can put some money into branding or put money into wherever your customers are, and then be okay if that it doesn't change, like if tomorrow isn't the best day ever, but like recognize that these things kind of like build a snowball and get bigger.
Yeah, and how like multiple things happen to get a customer to call you. There's multiple touch points that happen before the customer picks up the phone and call you, whether that be the billboard, your truck on the road, they hear your radio ad, they see your social media posts, they see your TikTok. So you have to remember, like, you have to make sure you're visible everywhere that people see you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that feels almost harder because it's like you can't just do one thing. But
yeah,
I mean, it's that is what you have to do. Like there isn't just one thing. I mean,
there's not. And that's probably the most common thing when people come to me looking for advice. I'm like, okay, well, what have you done for marketing? And it's like, well, I have some Facebook ads.
Right. I know. Well, I'm like getting to the point where I will not work with people if that's the only thing that they're doing, because I'm like, you would need like a $10,000 to $30,000 budget for this, and I'm not willing to do that with you. Like, you have to have more. Like, I need you to, because we have a client and she's not in the trades. I found her on Clubhouse in 2020.
Oh, really? I love it.
Yeah, she's actually an awesome woman. She but she has a organic community. She's an acupressure specialist. Okay. So niche acupressure. She has so many followers on all the platforms. She makes so much money launching courses and creating ebooks. Like, I'm talking $100,000 launches every time that we do them. Right now we're running monthly launches for her. She makes 40 to 70,000. And this is just like, she doesn't have like this big team. Like, this is like what she's making from these ads, and we're spending nothing. And it's because she has such a huge organic presence, because she shows up consistently all the time, because she's built this whole community of all these people that trust her. And it's so easy to run ads for her. It's so much easier to run ads when people already know who you are. Like, to try to run ads when you have no community presence, you have no strong branding, you have no organic social, like, you are going to spend so much money. It's the same as you were trying to run Google ads and you have no reviews, you have no presence. Why would anybody trust you? It's the exact same thing. Like, if nobody knows who you are, it's going to be really hard to get them to buy from you at any point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think you touched on something super important. Consistency is key. Like, not only the amount of times that you're posting, but also like your branding across the board has to match.
Yeah. And like, I want to bring up Rilla, and Rilla's a sponsor, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
So one thing, and you think about like how quickly Rilla infiltrated itself into this industry. It's because they did everything. They showed up everywhere. It was a big investment, I'm sure, on their part. But so you can shorten the timeline if you're willing to invest the money to be everywhere at everything, sponsor everything, be the highest sponsor. And, like, then you can
have the dollars.
But you're also building visibility super fast. If they were just running ads, nobody would that would not have done it. It's because they were everywhere.
That's a good point, because remember we were at I kept hearing about Rilla, but I didn't know who they were, and it was like 2 super meetings ago, and they all of a sudden were at lunch at super meeting, and there's all this Rilla stuff everywhere, and I'm like, what is this? And it was like, go meet Jocko and blah blah blah, and I'm like, well, I want to go meet Jocko or go see him, right? And it was so many people could get there, and there's a video of me where I stood up and was like, hey, so who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Like, you've come from nowhere, like out of nowhere. You literally have shown up at all of our industry events, and you're showing up with like headlining speakers.
They do. Yeah, that's what they did. And they had to invest in that. But they spoke at Pantheon. Wasn't that 2 years ago at Pantheon on this stage at lunch? I'm like, that was an investment. But you know what? It was worth it. Like they got it. You can do it if you have the money. You can shorten the time. If you don't have the money, you just got to put in the time.
Yeah, but then the other piece of that is that you have to have the money and to shorten the time, but then you have to stay consistent after it, because I've seen local businesses that'll do something like that. We have this one that has like this old, I don't want to give out too much information, spokesperson for them. That's like a person that used to be kind of an influencer in our area. Right. And then you see that somewhere, and it was like, boom, okay, cool. And like the boomers were excited, right? But then it's nowhere else, you know? And you're like, you've got to if you're going with that, if that's your thing, you got to keep with it.
I feel like I remember you telling me that really early in my career. Like, you have to just keep showing up so that people will know that you're not going away. Like you got to just stay consistent.
And even when they're annoyed with you, that still made you relevant.
Nobody's annoyed with me.
Not you. Never. Me? Probably.
I'm like, if only people knew how much I post. Because my post this last week got so much attention, I posted something this morning that I didn't anticipate anybody seeing. It was just like my internal thoughts, and like so many people commented on it. I was like, oh no, the algorithm really put me out there.
I can identify with that, because I was really going in on the Queen stuff, right? And I've been posting, and then I just like was posting like my normal stuff and my granddaughter, and then I was like, crap, and I like pulled back and like made it private to where it was still like only my followers, because I kind of forgot for a second, and there she was, and she's cute, but I'm not feeding her to America.
No. And so algorithm, I mean, there's actually strategy behind that. Like, if you can build your engagement really high, and then the next thing you post, so like if you're going to post an offer, you want to boost your engagement first. So you want to put things out there that are like things that people are going to comment on. And so a lot of times that's like getting people's opinions on things. But then you can put an offer after it, because it'll show up in everybody's newsfeed. That's not what I did. I was like, just giving my normal thoughts. It's amazing how much you guys don't see. And then
isn't it funny? You're like, okay.
I know. I had like 3 comments on it right away. I was like, oh, okay, this was not meant to be seen.
Sometimes I'm like, I need like a secondary private journal Facebook.
Right.
Yeah. That's so funny. Well, Jen, it's been good catching up with you. You always have such good insight to share. We appreciate our relationship with you both at Quality and Power Women of the Trades. And I have to say too, like, it's been an incredible journey to watch you grow also, because I think that, going back to what we were saying with Kaylee, watching her grow, you guys have really like grown together. You were really getting into this, but you had already been in the space whenever you became our sponsor, but you were still like in your baby stage.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of at the beginning. I don't even know if we had fully transitioned into the trades at that point. I guess we had. I don't remember the timeline. Yeah, the timeline was really close.
Yeah, just barely. And so you've really done a good job for yourself as well. And getting to watch you do that is cool. And you're proof of, you can feed the machine and gain.
Be visible. It's about being visible, being consistent, being transparent, authentic, like, and it works, but I appreciate it. I always appreciate y'all's support. You guys have been hugely supportive for my whole journey, and I'm grateful. We love being a sponsor, Power Women of the Trades podcast. So thanks for having me on. I always love it.
For sure. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks.
Sounds good. Bye.
This has been Power Women of the Trades. Like what you hear so far? Leave us a review in Apple and make sure to listen to our other episodes wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.